Hello, today we're just going to do a few more examples of solving quadratics with the quadratic formula. Nothing too different from what we've done so far. We're still using our quadratic formula for all of these, which is this equation right here. Remember, a, b, and c come from the numbers in front of x squared, x, and your regular number term in your original equation. In order to know what a, b, and c are, you need to have your equation written in this format that I just highlighted, just like we've talked about before. You may need to rearrange your equation in order to make that happen. We'll use Desmos a lot, just like we've been doing. Remember that in Desmos, since Desmos does not have the capability to do the plus and minus sign, you type in these two separate versions into Desmos. One with a plus sign right here, one with a minus sign right here. That's what we've been doing so far, nothing different there. So we will just pick up where we left off. Again, first check to make sure your equation looks like something x squared plus something x plus number equals 0. If you don't have that, make that happen by hand. And then once you have everything arranged properly, you can put these two versions of the quadratic formula and your a, b, and c in Desmos, and then Desmos will do a lot of calculating for you. Let's try this first one. So for the first problem, notice that we don't have one side equal to 0, so I need to make that other one side of the equation equal 0. I need to undo this minus 2. The way I do that is by adding 2 to both sides. Notice that when I go to add 2 to the other side of the equation, there's no number term there, so nothing is going to combine. I just basically need to rewrite this left-hand side in the right order. So I only have one x squared term, so it's 8x squared. I only have one x term, minus 8x. I only have one number term, plus 2. And everything canceled out of the other side, so it equals 0. From here, now that things are in the right order, we can label a, b, and c. A is positive 8, b is negative 8, and c is 2. And we can start putting things in Desmos. So typing it in, x equal sign. To get your fraction, hit your division key. And then I'm using computer keyboard, but if you're using your iPad, remember to get to A, B, and C when you're typing. Click that A, B, C button. You'll get to your whole alphabet. Type in the two parts of your fraction. Negative b plus square root is the square root sign right here. B squared minus 4ac. Go down to your denominator, 2a. Now do the same thing, but just with a minus sign instead of the plus sign. X equals, division sign to get your fraction, negative b minus square root. Inside your square root, we have b squared minus 4ac. And once again, denominator is 2a. Desmos can calculate all this if you tell it what a, b, and c are. For this problem, a equals 8, b equals negative 8, C equals 2. Desmos will spit out the answers there for you, but notice this time, we haven't run into this so far with quadratic formula. Both of your answers are the exact same number. So you only have one solution here technically, since both numbers are the same. We say that x equals 0.5. I don't need to write it twice because that would be redundant. They're the same thing. So thinking back to when we were solving things by taking square roots, most of the time we got two solutions, but sometimes you could get one solution or undefined. That's still true here. So everything we've seen so far, the quadratic formula had two solutions. Today you might run into some that only have one solution, or they might be undefined. That's the only thing that's slightly new and different for today. Let's try a few more. So I'm going to get rid of my A, B, and C numbers just so I'm ready for the next problem. Notice that this equation, the next one, already looks like something x squared plus something x plus number equals 0. So we don't need to rearrange that one. Yay, smiley face. We can just start by labeling A, B, and C. A is 9, B is negative 12, C is 6. Since I already have my equations in Desmos, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel and type them in all over again. I just need to update what A, B, and C are. This time A is 9, B is negative 12, and C is 6. Notice that for both of these, it says x equals undefined. This was sort of like when we tried to take the square root of a negative number when we were solving things by taking square roots. So if you get x equals undefined, just write undefined as your solution, and that is it. We are not able to do any more solving with that because somewhere in the process, we ended up with a square root, a negative number under the square root sign. Let's clear out A, B, and C and try the next one. So for the next one, it's almost ready to go, but notice that we are missing something. I have A because I have a number in front of x squared. I don't have a number x, so I'm missing my B term. And so B equals 0. Remember, we saw one of these like this before. This equation right here, 6x squared minus 17 equals 0, is the same as 6x squared plus 0x, since I'm missing the x term, minus 17 equals 0. So then, just to make things clear, A is 6, B is 0, C is negative 17. Remember, if we don't have a number for B, we aren't able to do our calculations. Now we can put things into Desmos. A number was 6, B number was 0, C number was negative 17. And once we do all of that, Desmos spits out our two solutions. You can round these for sure. You don't need to write out the whole decimal. Let's round it to 2 decimal places. So first solution is x equals 1.68. Oops, I kind of crossed out my x, but you get the idea. And then the second one is almost the same. Notice they're not quite identical. This one is just the negative version of the same number. So negative 1.68 is our other solution. Last but not least, so for this very last problem, we do want to get everything on one side of the equation and the other side to equal 0. It's going to be fastest if we undo the side that only has 2 terms. To undo minus 4x, I'm going to add 4x to both sides. When I add it to the other side, make sure you line it up with the other x term, like I did here. To undo plus 12, I'm going to subtract 12. When I do that from the other side, subtract it from the number term on the other side. So let's simplify that all out. 6x squared is the only x squared term, so it stays the same. Negative 13x plus 4x is negative 9x. 6 minus 12 is negative 6. And then everything over here cancels, which was what we were after. So then I get equals 0. That means this time A is 6, B is negative 9, C is negative 6. And let's put our new A, B, and C into Desmos. I've got to get rid of the old ones. A is 6, B is negative 9, C is negative 6. And then Desmos gives us 2 solutions this time. First solution is 2. Second solution is negative 0.5. So that is it for today. Just friendly reminders. It's possible to only get one solution. If Desmos lists the same number twice, you only need to write it once. It means you have only one solution. It's possible to get undefined. That happens sometimes too. A lot of times you'll get 2 solutions. Make sure you do your rearranging first if you need to. Make sure if you're missing a term that you make that a 0 term like we did here. That is it for today. Have a wonderful day.